Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I wanted to share how to do the bokeh effect. We've seen it everywhere. I'm sure if you haven't seen it, once I show you this page, you'll be like, oh, that's right, that's what that is. I've been seeing it pop up everywhere. So on these little tiles, I did the bokeh effect. I've also got this little fun cereal page. I did that in the background, and it's just a really fun, dreamy effect that you can use to make your backgrounds more interesting, but it doesn't have to just be backgrounds. You can put them on objects as well. Like on this page, this little marker bag, I put the bokeh effect on the marker bag just to make it look a little more interesting and give it a little bit more depth and dimension. And it's really simple to do, at least the way I do it. It's very simple. If you've seen my other videos, I try to get nice results in the easiest way possible. And so I'm going to show you how to do this effect with just a couple of tools. And by the time we're done, you're going to be a pro at doing the bokeh effect on your page. So we're going to focus on this page, and we're going to do these little tiles. And the book that we're working in is Tiny Corner by Hikaru Katz. If you haven't seen this book, fantastic book, super fun to color in, definitely a good one to get. So before we get going, I want to introduce you to today's coloring buddy. So it's my new little clownfish. When we moved from South Carolina to Alabama, I felt it was only appropriate to get a small little tropical fish to be in my little coloring buddy collection. So he's gonna sit with us, hang out with us and color, and make sure that my markers do not roll off the desk. So as far as tools, there's really not a whole lot that you need to make this happen. So before we get started, of course, I have my 2 sheets of copy paper that I put behind the page that I'm working on because I don't want ink bleed through on the page behind it. And then the actual markers that we're going to use in today's demonstration are Copic sketches, and I have an RV63 and an RV52. And then we're also going to use this Tissot acrylic paint pen. In a previous video, I wasn't too excited about these because they ran out of ink fairly quickly. But I will say, when you're trying to do the bokeh effect, nothing beats this. It just does such a great job. And it could be that maybe I just got a dud package, because since then I've gotten some and they have been working really great. So we're going to use this to add the sparkle and twinkle part of our bokeh effect. And there's actually one more tool I just realized is not here. It is our colorless blender. One of the most critical pieces to make this happen. So actually we're going to use 4 things to get this done. 2 markers that are alcohol, 1 acrylic paint marker, and then we have our colorless blender. So let me go grab that. So we've got this colorless blender. I will say not all colorless blenders perform the same. Copic Chow's version is fabulous. It does a really great job, especially for the bokeh effect. And it means that you can get the results you want a lot quicker, and you get a really great result by the end of it. So we're going to start first by laying down some color. And we're going to start first with this RV52. And we're just going to color in all of these little tiles in the background and make sure that we have an even application across all of them. Something to remember if you're coloring larger spaces is to pay attention to your lines, because anywhere there's a line, it kind of gives you a save. So instead of me just coloring all the way across all of this, which I could do, I'm actually going to color each little section, because then it's less likely I'm going to have streaks. And granted, with a bokeh effect, you can kind of hide that because you're going to cover over a lot of your marker, but I don't want to be forced to put it in places where maybe I didn't want to do the bokeh effect. Maybe I just wanted to have certain dots in certain spots, and I don't want to be forced to put them where the streaks are. So we're just going to make sure we don't get streaks. So I did end up with a few bleed through areas, and one of the nice things with having a really good quality blender marker is that you can get rid of that very easily. Most blenders will work really well for getting rid of any bleed through, but the Copic one, I will say, in having tried quite a few different blenders, Copic so far has been the best. Just does the best, works the hardest, and really eliminates bleed through. So I went through this pretty quickly and I got a little bit of color outside the lines. So I'm just dabbing it with my blender tool and it will get rid of it. It might need a couple of passes, which is fine. Do this a few times and then it'll take all that out of the way. And if you want a full video that shows you just how to use this blender tool to get rid of your marks when you go outside of the lines, because sometimes the paper doesn't help, it lets it bleed a little bit more, or it could be that the marker is extra juicy and so you just end up getting bleed through. No matter how hard you try, it's just going to bleed into the next line. Or maybe the coloring book, the lines maybe are like this thin instead of this thick, and it is easier to end up with bleed through. So I have a video that explains just how to fix that, so no need to worry. It's not like your page is ruined, you can fix it. And very easily too, it really doesn't take much. Okay, so we have our pink down, and it's important to make sure that this has completely dried. And one of the ways you can tell if alcohol marker is dry is by touching it. And if it still feels a little bit cool to the touch, then it is still wet. And here it doesn't feel cool to the touch at all. But over here, it definitely does. So we're gonna give this a little bit of time to dry, and then we'll go on to our next step. Okay, so now that that has dried, what we wanna do is take our colorless blender, and I prefer using the brush tip for this, and we're just gonna make a whole lot of polka dots across this. And I'm gonna do them of varying sizes. So let me just line all this up and just simply make a bunch of polka dots all over this pink area that we've colored. And try not to make them in orderly rows. I don't know how else to say that. You don't want it to look super uniform, just a whole bunch of random dots. Okay, so that's layer one, and we're gonna let that dry. And again, wait until it's no longer cool to the touch, and then we're gonna come back and do another layer with our colorless blender. So that's dry, and now we're gonna do another layer with our colorless blender. And this time we're going to go over some of the same circles, but then also add some dots in places where we didn't have dots the first time. What this is going to do is remove more color and make some of these dots stand out and look a little bit more white, and that's exactly what we want. And don't feel like you have to put the marker exactly where it was the first time. You can put it near it, next to it, or directly on top of it. It's really up to you. This is also a nice way to make sure that your dots look random, because now you can come in and fix it. You can amp up the removal of color on some dots, you can add some more dots, you can put dots next to it just so it looks less uniform. The less uniform you get it to look, the more interesting and dreamy, and it's gonna feel a little bit more like bokeh. And that's the effect we're going for. Now that we've done 2 layers, I'm looking and just seeing if there's spots that I could improve. And I do see there's a few little spots in here, so I'm going to add just a little bit more to help make it feel like there's a lot more white dots happening, basically. So now we're gonna let all of this dry, and then we'll come back over with the next color. So let's take the RV63, and we're going to just add a bunch more polka dots over this area. And again, making sure that we're not putting them in a uniform array. We want them to be really random and feel sporadic, and that will help create this bokeh effect. I'm also doing the dots in various sizes, because if they're all little, or they're all big, it kind of ruins that effect. Because that's not really how light would transmit anyways in this effect. It would be very sporadic, so we want to make sure that our dots are also the same. Okay, so it's starting to look a little bit more the way we want it to. So now I'm going to let this dry, and then we're going to come back over with our acrylic paint pen. Okay, so our last step is to use this Tissot acrylic paint marker, and it has a dot tip and a fine tip, but we're just going to use the dot tip, and we're going to make some circles and then also some dots just using the same end of the acrylic paint pen. So sometimes I will dab, other times I will sort of press and make little circles and just go over these areas. And don't worry if you get it over the black line, that can easily be fixed with a colored pencil in black. So I'm not really worrying too much about that. Now because this is an acrylic paint marker, you do want to be mindful of where you're coloring so that you don't end up coloring over here if you're right-handed, and then maybe coloring up here and now you're smearing your ink. So I'm working left to right because I'm primarily right-handed when it comes to coloring, and I don't want to smear my ink. So if you're left-handed, you would probably want to work from right to left, and that way you won't smear your ink. I like that with these Artistro markers, the dot tip will do a circle like that, but it'll also do little polka dots. So it actually gives me both options out of the same end of the tool. So I can do fine tip dots with it, or big flat circles, which is perfect because that's what you want, is both of those to create the bokeh effect. So it really is a great tool for this. In a previous video, I was a little hard on them because it just was not opaque enough for my sun rays. But just like any tool, you know, it's a matter of figuring out what the tool is good for. And usually a tool can be good for something. So I just didn't know that it would be fantastic for the bokeh effect. Is it good for sun rays? Absolutely not. I would never use this for sun rays because it's just not opaque enough. But for the bokeh effect, it's like it was made for this. It's so easy and I love the end result. It has a really nice look to it. Okay, so that looks good. I just want to do a once over. Just make sure there's no other areas that would probably benefit from a little bit more acrylic paint, like maybe right here. But remember, if you've just colored here, be careful. It might be good to just wait until it dries, unless you can hold your hand very steady so that you don't accidentally smear all this beautiful paintwork that you just put down on your page. Okay, so we've got this beautiful bokeh effect on the tiles. They have a nice little shimmer, and they just have a really nice effect on the whole page. I'll show you the before on the other one so you can see just what it looks like when you combine it with everything else. It's got some nice interest and just sort of makes the whole page come together, especially being that everything else is very plain. This is kind of a nice thing to have because it's really busy, so it pushes all of the plain things to the front and makes you focus more on them, which is a good thing in my world. I think that actually looks really nice. So something to keep in mind if you are doing this effect, unless you want everything to be very busy, it's best to just have it in one spot because it can very easily overpower. And you don't want it to take over all of the elements on your page. You want whatever your focus, your center of attention is going to be, you want that to be your focus. And this truly was my background, so I don't want the background to be the focus. Yeah, it stands out because it's cool and it's the bokeh effect, but your eye isn't always going to stay there. It's going to look more at the high contrast areas and appreciate all the hard work that was put into the other elements of the page. So just a little pro tip there when you're using the bokeh effect. So I hope this video helped you in your coloring journey and that you learned some things that hopefully you're feeling brave enough now and confident enough to try on your own pages. If you like my videos, be sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.